Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Band Class. This is going to be our third episode here.
Hello.
I am here with Isaac and Snow, as always. And
Who are you?
Today, my name is James. Thank you.
James.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
What's your problem, James?
What? Well, as you guys can tell, we have a fourth person on the job here today. I'd like you all to meet Matt. Matt is an accomplished guitar player,
Matt.
both acoustic and electric wise. He also dabbles in blowing people's minds on the piano and with his soothing voice. And I believe you teach band for middle schoolers, I want to say.
In high school, too.
And high school.
And some 4th and 5th grade in there, too.
Well, there you go. See,
All right, let's welcome Matt.
He's covering all the
master of all
ages.
trades.
We're going to welcome Matt.
Welcome,
Hey,
Matt.
welcome, Matt.
Yeah,
That's
just don't tread on me.
Hey.
That's nothing to wipe your feet at.
Whoa. He's aggressive.
So at the day of this recording, it is a whole 2 days after Thanksgiving. So how did everybody's Thanksgiving go?
I'm still eating leftovers.
Hey,
Oh, wait.
Ooh.
Well,
Leftovers. That's a good thing.
well, actually, I'm eating 2 different kinds of leftovers.
Oh, that's good. Variety.
Because Thanksgiving Day, we had tacos. We had Taco Thanksgiving.
yeah. Ooh,
Oh.
And then...
clever.
Taco about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Duh.
And
Here we go.
I pretty much we celebrate that like with just like my family, like my wife, my kids, and then today we celebrated my youngest son's birthday.
Hey.
And celebrated like a Thanksgiving with like all of our other family, like my parents, my wife's parents, all that stuff.
Very nice.
And
Very cool.
And so like we have like a ton of food in our refrigerator right now.
I bet, yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, we did the whole leftovers thing, but they were pretty much gone.
Sorry, I would have brought a plate if I thought about it. Sorry, guys.
It's cool. It's cool. At my house, actually, I've got a big family, so we pretty much finished the leftovers yesterday. They're
Yeah,
all
they
gone.
consumed everything. I was there for part of it, so.
Nice.
Yeah, you were there for most of the leftover consumption, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Awesome.
So yeah, he came over. We had Isaac over for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
whoop.
That's nice.
It was a blast.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you looking
I
at
got
me like
the
that
inside
for?
scoop on
Huh? No.
James's family.
I'm just I'm checking my email, see
Oh, okay.
if like I missed a invite or something.
Come on, man. Dude,
No, man, I had stuff going on too. It's okay.
his family doesn't live in the state.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm being stupid.
invite the whole Snow family next time.
We're gonna do it. Yeah,
Gosh,
we're
no,
just
don't do
gonna.
that. The Smiths.
we're gonna
and
have the
Snows,
potluck.
No. There's too many people.
Let's have the potluck. You know?
Let it
We're gonna
snow.
do it. Let it snow.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Well, Matt's here. I have to get in
yeah,
on the
yeah.
Matt jokes, the puns.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody snows that.
Oh God.
All right, for those of
It's
you
really bad.
those of you not caught up yet, for those of you that are not caught up yet, Matt is our resident pun expert, and he delivers the best and the worst of the puns, and it's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes,
You never believe how many times you can how well you can shake your head and laugh at the same time. Just it was so bad, but it was
those who live by the sword die by the sword.
all right. Well, how was your Thanksgiving, Matt?
It was good.
Well, all right. I'm going to take that as we want to move forward here. So as always, we got to start off with
gosh.
what have we been listening to this week? Any big updates on any music that people should check out? I'm gonna open up the floor here.
Well,
I got some stuff, but
Yeah. Well, I only have like one I've been listening to a lot of stuff, but I only have like one recommendation that kind of like comes out.
okay.
Just because like I was mentioning earlier, I want to do like a bit more of a deep dive on it. It's a song that you probably will never hear at church, but it's a song that really kind of like causes you to just think about you and like the scope of creation and just where you are, where God is, and it's just I've heard it like a while back, and it just kind of came at me in like a wave that I just wasn't expecting. It's a song called "Obsession." I don't know if you guys have ever heard this song before. It was originally done by.
Are you obsessed with it?
Oh God! It was originally done. Jesus Lord, help us through this podcast. All right, it was originally done by Delirious. Yeah.
That's one I haven't heard in a while.
yeah, man. Delirious was pretty big in the *90s.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name.
And well, you were kind of born in the '90s, so it kind of makes sense. But they were hugely successful. They actually created like a lot of songs that even like churches now today are like still
Right.
playing and reintroducing to the world that didn't catch them. And this one particular song called "Obsession." Like the message behind it was just like really cool, really, I don't know, like a storytelling type of thing. And they really used some really interesting effects. Like they used like an EBO. I don't know, should I explain what an EBO is?
Sure. Go for it.
Well, basically it's like a device that you hold up to like a guitar string, and basically it will cause it to vibrate, and so that you kind of have like infinite sustain.
Right.
And like they utilize in a lot of their stuff like just interesting like guitar performance techniques, different things like that. It just kind of makes that song unique even more, as far as like how they performed it. But yeah, "Obsession," if you've never heard it, you should check it out. It was originally done by Delirious, and there were a few other versions that have been made since then. Hillsong did one that was like kind of okay. They did with a guy and a girl. I don't know. It was kind of all right, but the only one that kind of comes a little close is one that Jesus Culture did in their Consumed album. So yeah, just check it out.
Nice.
Nice.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go next then. So I've been listening. Apparently, at the end of October, Chris Tomlin snuck in a new album on us
Yes.
called "Holy Roar."
Yeah.
And so I listened to it today, and I actually found it really interesting. So I went through. I got the track by track, what I think of everything.
Yeah.
Didn't skip through any of it, so that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Can
go
never
through.
really go wrong with Chris Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
True.
We still sing a lot of his songs.
Yep, everywhere.
Everywhere.
So I'm going to start with number one. Track one is the title track, Holy Roar. It's got a really epic sound to it. It's just very like, it really sets, it's like a mood setter kind of song. It sounds amazing. And, the chorus rhythm threw me off at first. It's just that one line is a little shorter than the rest. So once I figured that out, it was fine. And I was able to follow along really easy.
Can I add something to what you're talking about? Could based on what you heard, like from these, because I haven't heard the album yet.
Okay.
Based on what you've heard from this album, I like to hear if you think that it's something that could be played in church.
Okay, all right.
Like each track.
I think I actually wrote that down for a couple of them.
Okay.
Just a couple of them. Most of these, honestly, I mean, usually if I'm picking out songs, it'll be for children's ministry.
Yeah,
And a
I
lot
got
of songs that we come across nowadays are a little too wordy for that. Not that the kids won't get the hang of it, but some of the younger ones will lose interest.
Yeah.
So it's not that they can't do it. It's just that it's going to bore them.
Yeah, I got you.
That sort of thing. But as far as Holy Roar goes, it's more of a lot of the as far as with most of these really, it's more of a listen to song on your own time, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. Holy Roar was great. I got to actually turn through my notes here because I got 5 songs in and then I realized it was on shuffle, so I had to go back and So I just kept the shuffle going. So I've got I think I've got like 8, 11, 4.
Hook us up, Spotify.
Gotta be spontaneous.
Hook us up with that membership,
Yeah,
Spotify.
spontaneous. So second song, Nobody Loves Me Like You. It feels verbose, honestly. Second song. Even if it isn't really that verbose, like there's not all that many words relative to the other songs. It just feels like it is, It just kind of drags that way.
Gotcha.
I didn't really get the bridge, and other than that,
What,
I mean, it was
what were they
pretty
doing in the
well
bridge?
written. I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
really what they were doing on the bridge. Yeah, I listened
Verbosity.
to all this is going on. I've listened to all these songs one time and took notes as I went.
Yeah.
I didn't really get the bridge. I rated it as don't skip it. Listen to it.
Okay.
See what you think about it. I wasn't a huge fan of it though.
That means I might like it.
Wow. Okay. All right. So
Word.
number 3, he is Guys. So number three, he brought back Resurrection Power.
Okay, all right.
And he brought back the track for that. It's the same
like
one
that
that
song.
everybody's heard and
Yeah.
loves. It's like one of those 3 Caleb songs that I actually like.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
if you-
thinking about that chorus right now.
Yeah,
It's like
ooh.
super hype right
Yeah, but like everything. So if you haven't heard the song, everything is like really well done, really
Yeah.
well polished on it. The arrangement's fantastic, and honestly, the message itself is very powerful. You know, it talks about the freedom from sin that we get, and it's only available through Christ, and they convey that well through the song.
Yeah.
So number 4, Goodness, Love, and Mercy. Loved it. Amazing song. I would actually use this as a special in a church service.
Okay.
Very good.
Special.
One thing I did hear, I think he said at one point, restore righteousness.
Okay.
Like as in he would restore our righteousness in a way. But I was looking at it and I'm like, is that really a correct way of putting it?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it in the realm of Adam and Eve, they had it and then it's restored now.
Yeah.
If you look at it like that, I don't know if that's what he meant.
I
but,
mean,
yeah.
that I just saying that part threw me off a little bit
Yeah.
as to how correct that is or how applicable it is to our situation. But other than that, one little note there, fantastic note. And the bridge actually has a really nice style change to
Okay.
it. So go listen to that. Go
Okay.
check that out.
Better
I
bridge.
like variety.
Yeah, better bridge. Got the bridges fixed. Number 5 is called Satisfied. This is really well done. The message, the theme is really well done. Nothing will satisfy you but Christ, and that
Oh, man, that's the
presented
truth.
quite well.
Amen.
Preach it, brother.
Now, honestly, I actually didn't like this song at first, but like,
Oh,
as it
really?
went on, like when it started out, I wasn't a fan.
James, are you telling me it didn't satisfy you at first?
Yeah, I am. This is why you're here, Matt. This is why. So I didn't like it at first, really. As we went along, I kind of warmed up to it. So, yeah.
Are you satisfied with his evaluation of the song?
I think I am unsatisfied.
Oh, too bad. All right. Number 6.
Not
Number 6,
satisfactory.
Impact is the one. This is actually the one I heard last because I kept the shuffle going because I'm like, well, might as well not mess it up now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was hooked into the song from the first 2 chords, which I got to say something. A lot of times, if I'm scrolling through new music, I know whether I'm going to listen to the whole thing in about 3 seconds.
Okay.
You know? So the fact that those first 2 chords really got me, points for that.
Yeah.
Now, it was very airy, ambient
Yeah.
instruments. That was the sound for
Yeah,
most
my
of it.
vibe. That's like
Yeah. Honestly, though, I loved that aspect of it, but the lyrics to it didn't really seem entirely cohesive.
They were empty.
It was just like what is this? What is it about?
Just like
it's
the
like
atmosphere.
every line would be like a general praise to God, and then it'd be punctuated by "I brace for the impact."
Yeah.
They kept using that line before, and I was like, I mean, I think I get what you're going for, but it's not.
So it wasn't impactful.
It was
No.
not.
So instead you were confused.
Yes, I was. I was confused by it. I was not satisfied. So I actually rated that one. As a skip. I was, not particularly a fan.
Skipperoo.
Where were you at when you were listening to this?
In my room, just chilling.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes where
Would
you're
it
at
have been
affects
We
different?
how
gotta,
you
Does-
we
would
gotta
have been
set the
different in the
stage
car.
here. Set the setting.
Yeah.
Would you have skipped it in the car?
Well, I wouldn't have been paying much attention because I would have been driving.
So you couldn't skip it in the car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't text and drive.
You would
10
have
and
forced
2.
yourself to walk.
10 and 2. Hands on the
Yes.
wheel.
Yeah.
I just would have suffered through the whole
Okay.
thing. No, it wasn't that bad.
That plays a big part into it, though.
Yeah.
Like the availability to skip versus, not being able.
That's
okay,
true. There's
yeah.
songs that if I don't want to walk across the room to change it, I'll just listen to it. You know, like
Yeah, it's one of those. Like that's where I would put the don't skips.
Does weather?
Those are the ones that I rated don't skip. Just some of them I just rated like I don't like
Question: Does weather change whether you would listen to it? If whether it's cold or hot?
Your ears. Your ears.
Honestly,
Yeah.
probably not, unless it's like a Christmas song maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes that has an effect.
Yeah. If you got cold ears on, you want to listen to Christmas song.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need something to warm up your ears, so you got to listen to Christmas music.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, number 7. Number 7, Praise Him Forever. It's a really nice upbeat song, and I find a lot of upbeat songs these days lacking.
Yeah.
I really like this one. The halftime part, the bridge, didn't really thrill me. I wasn't a fan of the bridge there. It just seemed too little, like there was too little going for it on the bridge. It was
Okay.
just kind
Bad
of
bridge.
held a chord out, and when you take the drums out entirely and then bring in halftime, it wasn't very nice to listen to.
I don't know.
It was pretty bland.
Was it as bad as the Wordy Bridge?
The Wordy Bridge?
Sorry, I brought that one back.
I don't know. I would say worse, maybe. No, I don't know. Well, because the lyrics were fine on the bridge, you know?
Okay.
It was just that...
music threw you off?
Yeah. That was it.
Did it impact you?
We're talking about... Okay, we're talking...
Wrong song, Matt.
It doesn't matter.
We're talking about Praising
It doesn't
Forever.
matter. We've been bringing up every other song.
Okay, well, I rated it as good.
Okay.
On a scale of like skip to awesome, it was good.
Okay, so I probably really like it.
You probably really like it, yeah. Come on, man. All right. Number 8, Is He Worthy, is what it's called, with a question mark. Musically, it was pretty weird to me, but the song was very powerful.
Okay.
There's no denying that.
I got you.
Did they answer the
Is
question?
he worthy? Question. They did,
answer the
yes.
question? Okay.
Speaking of which,
That's
actually,
always important.
Yeah. Can't leave it hanging there, open ended.
so I actually specifically had a note on that because the way the song is written is like he'll sing a line as a question, and then there'll be like a choral background kind of answer to the question.
I like that.
You know, and I was like, I didn't like it at first.
Oh,
you know. No, listen. When I first heard it,
Yeah, man, that sounds amazing.
no, listen. Hear me out.
You're like,
Hear me out. I got you on this one. Okay.
Okay.
So I heard it first, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't know if I like. But as the song went on, look, it really did its job.
Okay.
You know, it did what it was supposed to do. It reinforced, like it was a nice, subtle, like it really. What I had written down on it because I take great notes. They're just nobody can read them. But, you know, it got the point across really well. It actually almost kind of showed that the questions were rhetorical in a way. That's what I got out of it. Is like how the subtle in the background, yes, he is, hello, you know, is like, I mean, it just makes the questions feel a little more rhetorical in a way that feels good, the song. So in the end, I think it was a nice move.
So, James, would you say it was worthy of listening to?
Yes.
Live and die by the sword.
Die by the sword.
All right, we're almost there. We got 4 songs left.
Thank goodness. How many more puns can we take?
At this rate, it's 4. So, number 9 was called "Forever Young."
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
That reminds me of who sang
I want to live
the 80s one?
forever young.
Oh.
Do you want to live forever? Forever?
I don't know which one you're referring to.
So,
Alphaville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was
so
on,
all I really got
Holy
from that
Dynamite.
one.
It was on that.
I remember in like the 80s
At the
one.
prom.
Forever young.
Have you ever watched Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I
When
did.
they were at the prom, they.
It's been a long
seen
time.
that yet, no.
It's been a long time.
Okay.
But so that's like I listened to it. Really, the first thing that came to mind, I was like, "What's the message here? What's this about?" You know, like they would actually talk about how great God is, how great it is to have a relationship with Him.
Yeah.
The lyrics are going great, and then
gonna-
it's just like, "In Your presence, I'm forever young" is the next lyric, and they just have that like multiple times throughout there, just periodically,
Suppose
and
they're
it
trying
just
to
threw me
say-
off. You know?
I suppose they're
Yeah.
trying to say that like you always have life and you're not experiencing
Yeah.
the aging that comes naturally, but like you're experiencing.
We're going to be 33 and a half forever in heaven, you know?
I mean,
Well, we
that's,
will be
that's a
33 and a half
theory.
years old.
Yeah,
That's how old Jesus was when he died. So, yeah,
Yes.
33 and a half.
Well, that's
Forever young.
that's
Forever
Still
young.
older than me
that's
though.
a theory.
It's older
It's
than me.
unconfirmed because it hasn't happened yet.
Are you
but
33 and a half?
No.
Well, it has
I
happened
will
to some
be
people.
in 4 years.
We just don't know yet.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to age you, man. I'm sorry.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, when the chorus came around too, just wasn't really a fan of it. The music part, you know, the instruments sound great and the chord progressions are great. I wish they could have used it for something a little better. Honestly, I rated this one as one of the 2 skips on the album. We've already been over the other one.
Skip-a-roo.
That sounds interesting. I'd have to actually listen to it.
I mean,
'Cause,
yeah,
like,
go listen to them all.
Because like Forever Young, I'm like I get like you have a relationship with God forever. I get that part of it, but
But why do you have to word it like that?
Yeah.
It's almost like because you said to skip it, we want to go listen to it now.
Yeah, no. I'm saying
That's
no,
called the
both
sin
of them.
nature,
Like
my
that's
friend.
the
Don't
first one
take-
I'm going to listen to.
Don't
I-
take my word.
Both of the ones you said.
Isaac, that's
Yeah.
called the sin nature. Whenever we're told not to do something, we do it anyway.
No,
Yeah.
don't just take my word for this
Whoa,
stuff. You know,
living-
just you
living
know.
example right here.
We just got a theological reason for why we do stuff.
We all just got schooled.
Schooled.
It's okay. I'm forever young. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. What? See, that's how the song was. Like it didn't
Yeah.
tie in. It just it
Yeah,
was just there.
Yeah. You know,
Sorry,
'cause
Matt. Sorry, I
Matt-
had to do it. I had to do it too, man.
Matt's been alive since 1786, so
Yeah.
yeah, he's forever young.
So next song, number 11. There's 11 out of 12. There's 12 songs in the album, which I respect. That's a good number of songs. for an album these days.
11.
Number 11. It's called "Praises the Highway." All I have written down for this one is I didn't get it. I just didn't get it.
It's the Christian version of the Johnny Cash song, right?
Wait,
Life is
hold on a
Highway.
second.
Is
Wait,
that
what?
Johnny? That's not Johnny Cash.
I
People
wouldn't
are
say it was
laughing.
Johnny Cash. I
Wait,
mean,
what's the name?
Who
of it?
sings that song?
Praise
Life
is a highway. Life is
That's
a,
definitely not Johnny
What
Cash.
the
Whoa,
life
that's
is a
Rascal
highway.
Flatts.
Rascal.
No,
That's
somebody
completely
did it
different.
before.
How am I the person that
Didn't
knows
somebody
this?
do it before them? Though?
You
Somebody
can
did it
laugh
before
at me,
them.
but I don't know my
like
worldly
someone did do
music.
it
That's a
before
good
them.
thing.
Somebody did it before
That's a good
them,
thing.
but I don't know
Yeah,
who it is.
but like, how do I know that?
So how does this
Because
one,
it's in cars.
Does
Someone
this
did
one
it
go
before.
like?
Oh, okay, I got you.
That's how I know it.
Does this one have
yeah.
like the same melody? Praise is a highway like that.
No,
Oh,
that
God.
would
If
be
someone
funny,
did it
but
before,
no.
it was probably Johnny Cash.
Gotcha.
Just trust me.
You know what Cars reminds me of?
I'll cash out on that one.
What?
Got a couple dents in my fender.
Oh, he broke out Francesca.
Trying to put the pieces together, but perfection's my enemy. I don't get it. Like it's after me, man. You know? Okay, all right. Sorry.
Well played, Snow.
It's like
Are you free
tomato,
to be
but
you?
without the toe.
I don't know.
Francesca.
I'll have to
Battistelli.
sing the rest of the song to find out.
Let's not. Ugh. Please no. All right, well, we're going to finish it on a good note. Number 12, How Sweet It Is with Pat Barrett. Chris Tomlin with Pat Barrett.
Who's
It was
Pat
very
Barrett?
Nice. He's another singer. He does The Way is another song by him.
Oh, the way, the truth.
Yeah, that one.
I believe. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I
So,
got you. I
number
got you.
12, How Sweet
Like
It
it
Is.
makes you want to put your hands in the air.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
just don't care.
I wasn't going to go there, but yeah.
That's
It was
the song.
It
All
was,
right,
a,
all
it was
right.
a real nice. It was a real nice change of pace for the rest of the
Yeah.
album. I say that partly because it was in 3/4, which is a little different.
Okay.
But it was a really nice, soft, had a
We're
nice
waltzing.
acoustic, very acoustic vibe to it. You know, I know it's not completely like acoustic. They got some electronic instruments in there and stuff.
Okay.
But it had a very nice, soft, very worshipful
Yeah.
feel to it, and it was a great way to end the album.
And they used electronic
Now-
instruments, and it worked.
I think so. I mean,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, surprise!
I thought he said it was acoustic.
I mean, I said it had an acoustic
like a
like
bounce.
vibe
Yeah.
to it. Like, you know, you have to get the guitar going and you have like the strings in the background and like stuff like that. It was very,
Yeah.
you know, just simple, you know?
I got you.
It was done really well.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And honestly, I might be a little biased.
Wait,
I
was
do
it like
really
a
like,
was it like a normal drum kit or like what? Or did they?
not really.
They were playing the vibes, man. Acoustic vibes.
I don't really remember
Oh,
there
I got
being, I don't really remember there being a,
Because I
Yeah.
know exactly what that is. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
I don't actually
Talking
remember
about,
there.
yeah,
about
vibraphone.
vibraphone?
There you
Oh,
go. Yeah.
vibraphone.
Acoustic
Oh,
vibes, man.
Yeah, dude.
I thought you. Okay, whenever you said that, I'm just like vibe, like a mood. Like I was like,
No.
oh yeah, like yeah.
that's-
Have you ever played the
vibe,
mood?
yeah.
We all play the keyboard. It's a
Vibraphone.
keyboard thing. We can
Gotcha.
see vibes as
It's,
the voice.
it's one of the more
keyboard.
common voices.
I got you.
It's one of those more
Yeah.
common voices that people don't use,
It's
but
an
they should.
inside thing.
I actually
Gotcha.
thought more as like someone who plays in concert bands about actual
The actual okay.
vibraphones.
Well, you
Yeah.
can just be extra over there, Matt, and we'll just.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
Quite often.
I want to get one of those though. I want a vibraphone.
Me too.
I want a cello. and I
They
want
cost a lot of
vibraphone.
money though.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, man. I
Yeah.
think a cello would fit you.
It
It's
would.
it's a man's instrument.
What?
Why are you laughing? How dare you? How dare you do my? How dare you do Stephen Sharp Nelson like that, man? Come on.
Nah, man. Like I actually have a violin.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Wanna
What?
fight?
Huh? Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
I practice every now and then.
We should have
My
a
wife,
duel. We should have a duel.
no, my wife, she does not. She
no.
does not let me practice that often. So I have to practice whenever she
Why
leaves
is
to
that?
go. Because I'm terrible.
'Cause it goes,
Like I'm still trying to learn. Exactly, I'm still trying to
Have
learn.
you tried
Well-
different strings?
Well, Johnny,
no.
you rosin
That
up
might be
your bow.
part of it.
Okay.
Also, the other
'Cause
thing
his
might
name's
be
Jonathan.
the bowing technique too. That's,
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest part that I've been trying to work on.
Yeah, that's
It's
hard.
Like yeah.
Parallel bowing is difficult, man.
Yeah.
From Georgia. I had to bring that up.
Parallel
But
to the bridge.
yeah, but like anytime she goes to the store to Target, I'm usually trying to like practice that.
Right.
That's there we go.
So yeah, the song with Pat Barrett.
Are
was
you
probably,
ready to string me up?
What?
It's a string
James,
instrument.
tell
So-
us who's Pat Barrett.
Pat Barrett was.
This is a
I already
plug-in.
told you, he was the guy that did The Way.
The Way,
one
gotcha,
that-
sorry.
He was featured on this track, and probably my favorite track of the album, the last one.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very well done, and I will say I'm probably a little biased. I am a fan of those very soft, worshipful
Yeah.
songs. You
It
know,
sounds
everything
good.
I've
I'm
ever
interested.
recorded myself has been that pretty much.
Soft
Yeah.
worshipful.
Yeah, soft worshipful, and honestly, like minimal drums of anything. That whole scenario is
Yeah.
what I've recorded in the
Very
past.
manly as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of
you know it.
Yeah. Speaking of worshipful, because one of the reasons why I wanted to listen to the Zach Williams, that's his name.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking
One
about
of
Zach
the
Williams.
Zach
He's cool.
Williams CD or his last album was because I was told that it had a very worshipful vibe to it. I can now say that I do agree with that
Very nice.
assessment. There's a few that are like that. Like some of the other songs, I think it would probably be more of like a, works really well like a concert setting,
Right, yeah.
different things like that.
Yeah, and that's a lot the same way I describe a lot of those Chris Tomlin ones.
Yeah, but it's very much in like that more like Christian kind of has like a, I don't want to say country, but it kind of like has like that twang to it that I personally have to be in the mood for. But saying that, I thought it was pretty decent.
It was good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I went ahead and listened to that Lauren Daigle Christmas you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Went ahead and listened to that. The
Yeah.
only thing to me about it is, you said it was very jazzy,
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
Which was awesome. The first time I heard it, the second, the third, but they all sounded kind of the same to me.
Oh, yeah,
So it
definitely.
did get very old after a while. But pick your favorite Christmas songs out of there. You got a few good songs. you
Yeah.
know?
Because
It was good though.
Yeah, because like actually, and I don't know, this will kind of reflect our next topic. Man, the amount of Christmas songs, I guess they're like the most popular religious Christmas songs or whatever. The people at the top of that list is basically Chris Tomlin and Lauren Daigle. Like,
Yeah.
they're at the top of that. Like it's pretty much just them for the most part.
Not surprised.
And like I listen to a lot of their songs, and like I have to agree, like they're all really good. Like the one that was at the very top was Noel, and that is a crazy, ridiculously good song.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yes.
it's ridiculous.
That's that one that's Lauren Daigle on Chris Tomlin's album.
Yes, yes. Like it's just her.
Crossover.
Yeah. Basically, and we can kind of get into that, I guess, right now. But like, basically, whenever he was writing that song, he basically had her in mind as he was writing it.
Well, it works.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the whole recording process. Like I read an article where they were kind of like just talking about how it was done at this studio that actually used to be a church, and they changed it to a studio. They had about like 300 people that were there, and they did it all like as a set, like 2 different nights, where basically they had everybody there and they would do all the songs live. Wow. And like the album is ridiculous. Man, what's the name of that album again?
Which one? The one with Noel on it. I think the album is actually called Noel, isn't it?
No, it's Adore, Christmas Songs of Worship.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Adore. Yeah. So anyway, so do we want to get into more Christmas songs? You want to talk about that?
James showed me a really cool Christmas song.
Okay, please.
Talk about that
Oh,
Lincoln
you're talking
Brewster
about the one Lincoln
Yes.
Brewster.
Oh, the
If you like-
Miraculum.
If you like
Miraculum.
trans- if you
Oh
like
my
Trans-Siberian
goodness.
Orchestra-
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking. Yes.
Yes. If
Oh,
you like
sorry.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Mannheim Steamroller, listen to Lincoln Brewster. James is going to tell you. I don't know all the
Miraculum.
details.
Miraculum is the
Yes.
name of the song. It's got, I think they start with God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Ridiculous
They
and
throw
the
in
most
Oh Holy
awesome
Night,
way.
O Come Emmanuel,
We Three Kings
We
is in
Three
there.
Kings, of course, Carol of the Bells.
Yeah.
Did you say O Come Let Us Adore Him? I think that's
Yeah.
one of them. Is that one of them?
I don't think they throw in O Come Let Us
No.
Adore.
Wait, no.
They did O Holy Night, though.
Oh Holy Night?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
Night.
And O Come Emmanuel was that soft part in the middle.
Oh, yeah, that was really nice. Like, it made me want to go listen to the original song a few times.
Yeah.
By other people. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Fantastic. Miraculum, Lincoln Brewster. Excellent Christmas song.
Yeah, that dude's
Amazing.
On all
That
of my
dude's
Christmas
ridiculous.
playlists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have multiple
You
Christmas
should-
playlists. Don't ask.
Hey, Lincoln Brewster, shout out. You should do more of that.
Yeah, please,
was really
please
good.
do. That was really nice.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't listened to him in a long time. I got a lot of the old music. Is he still recording?
Oh, yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff. I
Nice.
think he, didn't he recently do an album or something like that? I know he's
I
still
mean, I
getting a
haven't
lot of radio
seen
play.
one.
I got a
but
lot of the old
if I do,
early
we'll talk about
2000s
it.
stuff that I grew up listening to.
Oh, I got you.
A lot
I
of that
got you.
famous stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's still making stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but Christmas. Did you have something?
Yeah. So, in the spirit of Christmas and basically just wanting to see what the most popular songs in America are, I have a Christmas list of a
Christmas song
Hey.
list.
a Christmas song list, and I think like it was like the top 100, and I was like, no, not about to do that. So basically, I'll just go through like the top 10, see if you guys know any of these songs. You probably do.
Offer opinions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we could totally make fun of this list too.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
So number 10, probably my
Starting
favorite.
at 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You got to
yeah.
start at the, you
Count
can't
up.
you can't
We're
start at the
gonna-
top.
Yeah,
Build up
yeah.
the
Yeah, it's the build-up.
anticipation. Yeah. Gotcha.
And it's
Okay.
probably a song that you already like. You know. That
Imagine
it's
if they like went on a game show and they just announced the winner and then did second and third place.
Oh yeah.
You know, that'd be
Lame.
that'd be sad. Yeah.
gonna be, yeah. Well, it wouldn't work for ratings. So number 10, "Last Christmas" by Wham.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
can, yep.
The very next day.
I hear the music
Gave
in
it
my
away.
head.
Yeah.
No, it's someone special.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wham!
Exactly.
Just hit me right there.
Oh, we have a funny story. I wish I could tell.
Yeah,
I
it's not
can't
an
tell
on
it.
It's not an on-air story.
I can't tell it on the air.
It's not an on-air story.
No, but
What?
it's a funny one about that song. Yeah.
Really? Oh man.
All right. Number
really
nine.
wanna hear
Number
it.
nine.
Number
What do
9.
we got?
Oh, you guys. Okay. All right. So number 9 is "White Christmas," Bing Cosby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the Home Alone
Crosby?
version? Is that the Home Alone version?
Bing Cosby.
No,
Is
that's
it
not the
Crosby?
Home Alone
Is it
version.
Bing Crosby?
Oh my goodness.
Bill Cosby.
I have dishonored the name of Crosby. It's Bing Crosby. All right.
There you go.
Sorry,
There you
the
go.
Crosby family. Sorry,
Okay,
guys.
so I'm actually kind of surprised that that one beat out the. That's different as far as I know from the one from Home Alone.
Wait. What?
That's the
Oh, that
Drifters.
one. Yeah.
Right?
No, that one's like further down. Like
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, disappointing.
I know the Bing Crosby one more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Bing Crosby one. Wait, which one came first? I don't know. Ooh.
Okay, we
I
got our
think Bing
research to
Crosby,
do.
yeah, he's
Because the Platters, that was black and white.
I said the Drifters.
Or the Drifters. That's like black and white stuff right there.
Yeah, Bing
like as
Crosby
far
sang
as
with Frank
like,
Sinatra though. That was a long time ago, right?
That was.
That was a long time.
We're gonna have to do our
But
research.
Frank
'cause-
Sinatra was in color, Technicolor.
Aren't we gonna do a Christmas?
I'm thinking of like
thing
these
next-
people like recording these on like in movie like settings and yeah. I mean, sorry guys. All right, what were you saying?
I said, are we gonna do a next time we record? Weren't we gonna do a Christmas special type thing so we can when we have our research done?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to get back to this one.
Yes.
Now keep going with the list though. I
Yes.
wanna
Yes.
do the rest
yes.
of this list.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Joe.
Okay, you guys are going to love this one. Christmas Eve by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
Sarajevo.
Christmas Eve?
Sarajevo. How do you pronounce that one?
Yeah.
Sarajevo.
I don't know.
Sarajevo.
It's pretty much Carol of Bells and
Sarajevo.
God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Sarajevo. I'm going with that final answer.
It's Russian, right?
Sarajevo.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they are Siberian. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're probably right.
Not
yeah.
Havo.
Sarajevo,
You gotta go,
Sarajevo? I don't know. I don't know.
No, I can't. I can't speak Russian.
Leave it if you know you are Siberian. Leave a comment.
Sarajevo.
Yeah.
Pronunciation.
Please do.
Let us know.
Yeah, like your Webster.
We want to know.
Please leave it.
The world needs to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
In English, please.
Yeah. So I get pumped every time I hear Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes.
All
I
right.
actually got opened up to the wider world of Trans-Siberian Orchestra the other day. I just heard Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I had
They
not
have
heard
like
the
a
other
whole
ones on
play
the
and
album.
everything.
I was like,
That's
wow,
ridiculous.
This is really nice. You know, they got the sugar plums going on there. You know, they got that one. They got some good stuff there, dude.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the rest of those albums.
Yeah, they have the whole play and stuff that's related to this
Really?
particular song. It's on YouTube.
Dude,
You
I've
can
been
look it
missing
up.
out. Yikes.
Yeah, they got a dude that can sing. It's like, like he can really sing. Like it's ridiculous. Okay, all right. Number
on the
7, The Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams.
Andy Williams.
It's the
Yes.
most wonderful time.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. You gotta go with
Classic.
Andy Williams.
My
Classic.
one of my favorite Andy Williams songs though is it's the holiday season.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah, yeah.
And whoop-de-doo. I love that part.
Very profound word.
It'll
love
be coming
that.
down the chimney down.
yeah,
I got it.
exactly. I love that part. Yeah, happy holidays, and the holiday season. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, so most wonderful time of the year, Andy Williams. Number 6 is A Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl
I was
Ives.
just about to say,
Yes.
yep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
from Rudolph, isn't it? They put it in Rudolph, right? The
Ooh.
snowman sang.
I mean, it makes sense. Like Burl Ives was in like voice acting.
Yeah, he was
one
the
of
snowman dude.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
So-
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He was the snowman? Oh, wait, no.
Wait.
You're the
What's-
snowman.
You're the snowman.
Oh my gosh.
I got
Wait,
what
was he
where he's-
the was he
Matt's
the
still here.
wait was he the snowman or the hiker dude with
yeah.
the pickaxe?
Yukon Cornelius?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was the
and
snowman. 'cause
and
the
they
snowman
became
sang.
friends. Oh, he did.
Yeah, I never saw the Yukon
Yeah,
dude sing.
And,
yeah.
they became friends at the
He
end.
could have been both. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
Dang.
Hey.
Double duty, man. Okay, number 5, Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano.
Jose Feliciano.
Yeah.
Why did we?
I don't
all
know the
get
guy's
silent for
name.
That one?
I don't know
what's
the
his
guy's name.
name?
Was that the original, like the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Feliz Navidad, man.
The Feliz Navidad. Jose Feliciano.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm writing that down
Jose.
right now
Okay.
because I need to know this.
All right.
Thank
There
you.
go. You're welcome. All right, number 4, Jingle Bell Rock. Bobby Helms.
Yes.
I thought that was near to the top. That's number 4. Gotcha.
Yeah. Number 3, A Christmas Song, or Merry Christmas to You, as it's more, I guess. I don't know.
How's that one go?
That's chestnuts roasting.
on an open fire.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was called Chestnuts.
Yeah.
That one. It's
Gotcha.
called a Christmas song.
By Nat
Gotcha.
King Cole.
Oh yes, I love that
King
song.
Cole.
Yeah.
Smooth
That's
voice.
one of my favorites.
All right. And Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Brenda
Brenda
Lee.
Lee. Yep.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Yeah, that one.
Oh, she didn't quite sound like that, actually.
Yeah.
That one was in Home Alone too, right?
Yep. That's the scene where he's playing with all the puppets and
Yeah.
like the wet bandits.
You got really excited just then.
Yeah, dude, it's a great movie.
He was always compared to the little kid.
Yeah, people used to tell me
He
when I was a
looks
kid
like
I
him.
looked like Kevin from
Yeah.
Home
Yeah,
Alone,
yeah.
which a couple years ago was not as much of a compliment.
Yeah.
But
Oh
Home
man,
Alone's
he's doing
become
pretty
his
good.
passion.
I've heard he's doing a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
he's
for him.
actually doing a podcast now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but I know he's doing one.
Cool. We'll have to see what that's about.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully,
Who is it?
We'll actually be able to listen
What's the
to
actor's
hopefully
name?
it's something. Yeah.
it. Okay, what?
What's the actor's name?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great movies though.
Oh
Awesome
yeah,
movies.
man. Oh, yeah.
Classics.
He was actually in the Nutcracker. I didn't know that.
No way.
Yeah, there was. I
The
forgot
most
who-
recent movie then?
No. It was like super old. He was like super young. It was probably around the time that he
Speaking
did
of
Home
most
Alone.
recent, they're coming out with a new. They just came out with a new Grinch. I heard.
Yeah.
it's in
Benedict
theaters.
Cumberbatch is the Grinch.
Okay, well that makes it a little better. I actually didn't want to see it. I was like,
Yeah.
They said he's got an
Please,
American
just-
accent in it, though. He doesn't do his British accent.
Yeah.
He uses an
He
American
does pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, you ever watch Doctor Strange?
no.
Okay.
accent. Yeah, he does a
He's-
pretty good American accent.
Yeah, he did pretty
Okay.
good.
All
right. Let's see. It's pretty easy to make fun of this. Apparently, it's pretty easy to do an American accent if you're British.
All right.
It's a lot harder to do a British accent if you're American.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
really is.
It's true.
Yep. Let's see. All I Want for Christmas Is You is number 1.
Oh,
by
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Oh,
Yes,
we love
makes
that
sense.
one.
Who could have predicted this? Yep.
Didn't see
Nobody.
that coming.
Yep.
See,
All
we
right.
could have said that from the beginning. We all saw it coming, but the anticipation, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I should have did a drum roll, man. I'm sorry. I'll let you guys
We don't really have
da,
drums,
da.
but
No, it's late.
yeah.
Right.
Well, cool.
All right.
I like the list.
Yeah.
The
Now,
Christmas list.
there's another list, but this one's way shorter.
Okay.
Super short.
Super short.
Top 5 religious Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From praisecharts.com. I need to cite my sources. Okay.
Accurate.
Wikipedia.
No, not
Is it in
Wikipedia.
MLA format?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this better have good ones. Though. Huh? This better have good ones though, because I like
What?
some of the religious ones. So
Yeah. Well,
let's hear.
like I said before, like it's pretty much dominated by Lauren and Chris. Or oh my gosh, it's not like I know them first name basis. Lauren Daigle and Chris Tomlin. Yeah, I was hanging out with Lauren and Chris the other day.
Did I tell you how I met them?
Yes, you did.
Not them. No.
Well,
I
her.
never
You met Lauren
Chris
Daigle.
Tomlin.
Yeah.
I met Lauren Daigle. Yeah, that was cool.
Shout out
Sorry.
Lauren.
Hey,
Yay, how
Hey.
you
you
doing?
remember me?
Yep.
My
No.
buds.
No.
You remember the moment we shared? Oh man, you're just a couple miles down the road if you're not off in Nashville recording. Okay, number 5. All right, Angels from the Realm of Glory. This was published in 1816.
Wow.
Yeah. That's an
and-
old-fashioned one. For
Well,
sure.
okay. Hold on. I need to preface this. All right. So this particular song was done way sooner. This particular version that's actually in this top 5 list. Sorry, I should have said that. It was done by Paul Balanche, or Balanche or whatever.
Or Beloche.
Baloche.
That's my guess. Is
Yes. All right.
Beloche. You can correct
guys.
us, Paul, if you want to.
Please.
I always said Balake.
Please shout out to Paul. Please.
Balake.
I always did as a kid. Sorry.
Hey, Ron.
Please.
Oh Lord.
We need to know. Inquiring minds need to know how to pronounce his name. I see it all the time, and I'm always saying
Comment
it
section.
different ways. Yeah,
We say comment section, but if we're on iTunes, then
yeah.
Well, we're going
you're
for
listening
YouTube
on
too.
to
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
this point, I gotta keep in mind,
In the
listeners.
review, just tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, listeners, we haven't actually. This is our 3rd episode. By this point, we haven't published them yet. Once I get this one edited, we get all of that stuff ready to go. We'll begin publishing.
There's
So
a time gap there. We're time traveling. You
yeah.
see,
Yeah,
So
Into the future.
we're speaking to you in the future.
yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Future
Time capsule.
listeners.
All right. So number 5, Angels from the Realm of Glory. It's like a mashup also with Emmanuel. Emmanuel.
Okay.
Yeah, that song. I really
Counselor one? Or
no.
That's-
It's a fast one.
Yo, shout out to that though.
It's a fast one. I don't really know all the lyrics. I just know how to play it. But
I don't know that one. Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's really good. I like it.
Gotcha.
But he was able to mash it all together, and so it kind of has this up tempo kind of feel to it, which is really funny because "Angels from the Realm of Glory" is like in hymn, and it wasn't really meant fast paced when it was first made, which was 1816. That's why I have that date up there. This particular version, though, a lot sooner. I don't really know. I should have looked that up. I just did so much research on "Angels from the Realm of Glory" because it's just such an interesting song. It was made by James Montgomery, and we can talk about that some more next podcast because that guy is really interesting.
The Christmas special.
Yes.
Probably part 1 of 2. We'll see.
Yes. Yeah. The more I started looking into it, the more I was just like, I gotta share and talk about that. Anyway, Number 4, It's Christmas by Chris Tomlin, 2015.
Okay.
Christmas.
I
Do I know
believe
that
I've
song?
heard that one.
Yeah, that was actually on the Adore album.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
does that one go? It's Christmas. Is that one I would recognize or no?
It's like a medley
Gotcha.
of different songs.
Oh, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Chris Tomlin. Gotcha.
Okay. Joy to the World, Unspeakable Joy. Chris
Great
Tomlin.
Tomlin, classic.
Yes.
That's a
This
very
is
good one.
2009. All right.
That's good.
I like that song.
Let's see. Light of the World by Lauren Daigle, 2013.
No, I was thinking of Noel again. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. And then number 1 is of course Noel, on Chris Tomlin's album, but it's featuring Lauren Daigle. She's the only one that sings on that. He actually wrote it for her. We talked about that earlier.
Yes. Wonderful song.
Yeah, amazing song. She has an awesome voice. The one song that they keep playing on the radio right now, which one is it? It's the one where she sounds super like Adele because of the way that it's. You say I'm loved.
Yeah. You say.
You say
Isn't it called
I
You
am
Say? I
loved.
think it's called You Say.
I can't feel things.
Oh my gosh.
Like that? Something like that.
No. I don't think that's what he meant.
No.
He breaks his silence with that.
Love it.
Love it.
Wait,
Good job.
what?
No, Matt really can sing though. That was just his. He's a good singer.
Yeah.
But, sorry.
He's trying to not go over the top.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
Yeah. He doesn't want to overwhelm us.
Exercising his humility.
Good job, man. Good job.
If he really sings, like really sings, we'll just stop talking because we'll just be like so amazed.
No.
Yeah, you know it.
All right. So that's pretty much it as far as like the top 5 religious Christmas songs. There's other ones, but I was just like, let's cut this list short and just make it top 5.
Very nice.
Get to the meat of it. You know what I mean? All right. So yeah,
Cool.
we're ready to move on. I guess.
Anybody else been listening to stuff that they want to
Are we
bring up
still
here?
on
We're still talking about news, new stuff that's out, what we've been listening to in general. I would count that as news, those lists.
Yeah.
We're still in the news portion unless we want to move on.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything else? Cool. All right, moving on. So one thing I wanted to ask you guys and have a little discussion about is, say you were trying to put together a worship team, right? And we'll go around and I'll make sure we all get some say as for what we're looking for in this. But I want to see what you guys think is important for those members of the worship team.
Yeah.
We're
Is this
talking
like
about-
a worship team that's like specifically for like a church, or is it just
For a church, for a
just the
worship night.
People,
you know.
just want to get together and just create do that in coffee shops or.
That would work too. Yeah, honestly, either one, really.
Okay.
I might say some specific things to either one, either way. But I want to see what you guys would have to say. One, what would be important what would be important qualities for those people in general? Two, what are you looking for each position on
Okay.
that team? Right, and you can talk about, we'll go instrument to instrument, go over vocals, all that good stuff. But starting off with question number 1, what would you say you would look for in those musicians and singers?
Well, I can start out. We can. I'm sure we can all agree, but in a worship team, we obviously want people that are not only skilled and talented, but people that are actually there to praise and worship the Lord themselves, that
Yes.
are coming with the right attitude, not an attitude to show off and get attention for themselves. You can kind of sort of be a judge of that, a little bit,
Yeah, something I
judge
would
them
say.
too hard, but you can generally tell the spirit of somebody, what their goal is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to
motive.
add to that is one thing I would look for is if I'm putting together a group, and again, I know a lot of musicians and singers. I've got a lot of friends that are musicians and singers, so I can kind of do this without too much difficulty. But one thing I would want to do is I would want to pick people that I have seen worship before, that I've seen them
that's
in a
true.
church service before. I know that they're real about this.
Yeah.
I know that it's not an act. I know that they're not in it for themselves.
For a
I know that they
position.
care about
Right.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's one. And on top of that,
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I know before I started playing in service. Like I was, just like everybody else, just there, and being involved with the worship.
Yeah.
And I thought about that a couple of weeks ago, whenever I was just kind of like super frustrated about things, and I started thinking like, okay, and of all places, I was watching this video tutorial thing where these guys, they were talking about some gear that they were using, and they're part of a church, and like, the video wasn't about any, sort of personal testimonial or anything like that, but they just added that in, and they were just talking about like their whole reason for trying to learn new stuff and trying to incorporate different effects and trying to hone like their craft. And their whole reasoning was, because they want to basically be the best, part of the whole, worship team, community, and basically hold up their end as much as they possibly can, and basically give God their best. And it made me think about like why I started playing, and it made me think about where am I at right now, like what's my focus now. And it was just like, wow, like
Yeah.
I'm not really thinking about it in those terms anymore, like, and it made me really just put like a check on me, and kind of just made me realize like, whoa, like I'm lucky that I'm even doing this, and that I'm even qualified, to be up here and to basically help with bringing in like the presence of God for people to be receptive for the message. Like I'm lucky to even be up here and to be doing this. And, I'm so stuck on like these, small little insignificant things. And, it punched me in the face.
Yeah, well, we need those kind of checks. We need those kind of checks more often, really.
Yeah.
And kind of related to that, something I was thinking of earlier. If I was picking people for this, I would want people with as little attitude or ego present as possible.
Right. They got to be able to work with others. Work with the people
and
that are
it
around,
can't be
and
about
with
them.
the people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've seen musicians and singers with attitude before. It just doesn't go well. In one sense, I wouldn't really want to put, like, for let's say a worship leader, for instance, I wouldn't want to put someone out there that goes about it with an attitude, too much attitude or too much ego about things. One, I know that it's going to be hard to get things done because that person is always going to have an attitude about things, or they're always going to want their say in a little more than that other person's, things like that. And I've actually noticed that people that are already friends usually make pretty good bandmates when it comes to praise and worship.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get them in one mind, go in the same direction, one accord.
Yeah.
Get them into the spirit of worship easier. They're not
Yeah.
worried about what their guy's gonna. They trust him.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's pretty much common sense. Like if you're able to have like, interpersonal relationships with different people.
Oh, yeah.
And, be able to talk to them freely, then, of course, whenever it comes to like actual music and trying to explain stuff and trying to work on stuff together, it's a lot easier to do. And that's something that I think that's really important. And you get that a lot from like really good, worship leaders. Like, like they care about the team dynamic, not necessarily on like a musical level, but also on like a relationship
level.
Yeah, people level. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's super important.
Yeah.
And something I wanted to say following that, you mentioned the worship leaders, just these qualities we're mentioning that we'd like to see in singers, musicians, whatever the case. It's especially important that the leader of the group themselves, the band leader, whomever, exhibit these qualities, be the best example they can be of these. They be the one, seeking God on behalf of the team, for direction, and definitely be you also a band leader that respects the people, like you were saying, gets along well, is able to work well with people, not be prideful, but also that can be a leader and can stand up and be strong, make
Yes.
decisions when decisions
That's
need to
true.
be made. Because a band without a leader is very hard to work with and stressful on everybody. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that one. I know that one firsthand. When I started, when I took the leadership in the children's church band, one of our first practices, I was trying to figure out a special song to do, and so I just kind of opened it up for discussion, like, "Hey, let's do this," and nobody could agree on a song. Even though we all knew each other pretty well, and it wasn't like we didn't like each other or anything. It wasn't a scenario like that at all. We just couldn't agree on a song at all. Nobody. There wasn't a single song that everyone liked. And so we just went on it for hours, and like for an hour probably discussing what song we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it just stressed us out to the point where one of the guys, our bass player, actually was just like, "Hey guys, why don't we do something else and we'll just pray about this?" Because at that point I felt like an idiot. I felt like 3 inches tall. I was just like, this kid is just like, okay. I shouldn't say he's not really a little kid. He's actually he's a teenager. He's almost an adult probably. So, but like, it just made me like, I was supposed to be in charge. I was supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And so after that, like, I don't know. It changed a lot for me. Things have been going a lot better since then, but it really was eye-opening for me. Like, oh my God, you really need to be on top of this. You really need to be going to the Lord in prayer about these things ahead of time. Right. You need to know these decisions. You need to be able to make these decisions, you and God. So, great point.
Yeah, and that brings up another thing. Obviously you want to respect that leader, whoever's in that position. And even if they aren't exhibiting those qualities, if you're part of the band, it's still your job to do the best part you can be and respect that leader and their decisions, even if they aren't being the best example they can be. You can be an example to others, and maybe things change, they move on or they whatever the case, but we all are responsible to do our part.
That's right.
Yeah, because in the end, like if something's not necessarily going the way that it's supposed to go, most of the time it's not your job to try to correct it. Right. And I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, me too.
It's God's problem to deal with. If it's even a problem. Maybe it's just a learning situation.
Yeah. I've found that the more problems we run into during a practice, something like that, the quicker I'm getting, and I'm learning this, but the quicker I'm getting to just kind of stop everything down and go to prayer. So, and it helps so much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It really,
always.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're feeling a certain way coming in, or like you get into practice and let's say like I don't know, like your instrument's not working like the way that you want it to, or you can't find your charts, and like you're just in a super like aggressive and just like, oh my gosh, I hate everything type of mood, and then like somebody asks you to like play a bass line or play a riff or something like that, you're already like on the edge. You know what I mean? Like, and so sometimes like that'll lead to like conflict, solely just because you're in a bad mood. But like, if you just sit down, pray, and like, everybody's actually like into that, like that just clears up like
so
any
great.
sort of anxiety or just any trailing I don't know, stuff that's like still on you from like the rest of your
the
day.
Spirit brings unity, and he can do that even in a band. He can if he can do it in a church body, he can do it in a music group.
Yeah, exactly.
So
What would you have to add to that, man? What would you look for if you were looking for people for a worship team? Anything beyond that, really, or just you want to add to that?
All those are really probably the most important things. Another thing I guess I could add is the faithfulness of that person. Are they going to be faithful to come to practices?
Yeah, that's
because that
glory.
If they're just there, it kind of goes along with if they're for ego reasons, they're not necessarily going to be there to be faithful.
Yeah.
So I would take a person who's faithful over a person who's got tons of talent.
Right.
Yeah.
any day,
Do they
because
take-
God can take someone who's faithful and who surrendered themselves unto Him, and He can give them the talent that they need to do the job.
That's true.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
do they
There's a
take
lot
it
to say
seriously?
about growth of people that you know aren't necessarily there musically, but you know if they're faithful, like you're saying, like you can make them better.
Yeah.
He'll take a little and make a lot.
There you go.
Yeah. And speaking of skill, being talented, you can be extremely talented, but not every moment will. I'll kind of transition, but not every moment is a moment to do that. If you're looking for someone in a band, you don't want somebody that is constantly playing all their talent. They may not even be doing it to show off, but they think that's how they play, is they're just constantly soloing or whatever on their instrument.
gonna talk
Singer,
about
if you're a
this.
singer, you're singing all these runs and fancy stuff.
Yeah.
You got to be able to work together as a band and simplify in order to sound as a
The importance
whole.
of not thinking just of yourself as the individual when you're playing, but thinking about how you're helping the whole band as a whole, and what can you add to the band and not take away from them.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Kind of that idea.
Yes.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about that a lot.
Because bands can so often, like you said, taken away. It sounds like everybody's trying to steal from someone else, taking the lead, and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
Comes chaos.
And that's actually what I really like about a lot of the more modern like worship stuff. And that's just me. I know I'm probably by myself there, but like that's kind of like what I really like about it, because I can probably count on my hand as far as like the songs that like I really, really enjoy that have been made like probably in like the last like 10 years. I still love hymns though. Like don't get it twisted. But like in the last 10 years, like, songs that have been made or recorded, whether it be original songs or hymns that have been revisited, I could probably count on my hand the amount of times that I've actually heard people do solos during those songs. Like,
Yeah.
and because it's more about the lyrics and enhancing the actual message,
Right.
Versus the skill, of musicians and stuff like that. And like a lot of that music is really easy, for a lot of smaller churches that might not have, super amounts of talent to be able to replicate. If you know how to play chords, you're set,
Yeah.
And if there's little instrumental parts, they're super easy to replicate, but I don't know, that's just me though. That's we were talking about that and I just popped in my brain.
Right.
Yeah. All
And
right.
I liked what you said, amplifying the message that's
Yeah.
being spoken, because you got to think of the audience receiving it too. It's easy, we'll probably have its own conversation on this, but the difference between being like worshiping and getting caught up in emotion and actually being worshiping the Spirit. It's easy when the music is amped up and there's a lot of action in the music, a lot of talent being shown, that you can get caught up in the music and the emotion of what you're hearing, but not truly be worshiping God, be caught up in the Spirit, and so amplifying the message rather than, I liked how you put that.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's in the end, that's what it's about. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Amen.
All right.
So let's move on. Let's talk about on a role to role basis. We'll start with kind of the baseline of things. No pun intended. But I was going to go with the drums, actually. I was going for drums. All right.
Okay, sure.
So what do you guys look for from the drum part? And this is probably going to be a little bit more on a technical basis.
Yeah.
It can be other stuff though too that are specific to that.
Yeah.
If we're looking at a drummer, honestly, I'm gonna go with fancy or not. If I can follow you, I'm good.
Yeah, they have to be able to set it.
And if I can't follow you, please use a metronome.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid to use a metronome.
Yeah, please. It doesn't make you look weak or anything. You need to keep time. You can't be slowing down, speeding up. It'll cause issues with the rest of the band.
Exactly.
I think what's important is a consistency with the rhythmic style for each section of the song. For instance, for the verse, not just hitting every single cymbal that you see, but like, okay, I'm just going to stick with the hi-hat.
Yeah.
And then for chorus, I'm going to go with ride, or I'm going to go with another crash cymbal. Having that consistency, because that really adjusts the dynamics of the whole band.
Exactly.
And it also, consistency with the kick. Are they can they be followed by the bass player?
Yeah.
Can the bass player lock in with the drummer? So basically, the drums are
the acoustic
they're not by
guitars kinda
themselves.
lock
They're
in with the
always
cymbals.
usually the drums are with the bass, and of course if you've got acoustic that fits right in there,
Yeah.
and all that's got to fit together. If the drummers, even if they're in tempo, but they're not consistently setting the groove of that verse or the song in general, then it's hard for the rest of the band to really chime into it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anybody got anything to add to drums? Isaac, have you talked about drums really yet? I mean, you've kind of thrown some things in between there. All right. Well, let's go with bass then. We'll start with you because Isaac, you know how to play bass.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have Ben here.
Yeah.
We need Ben.
Oh yeah.
Well, a good tip and always a good thing to follow, whether you're a basic bass player or more skilled, is always to follow the bass drum with the drummer. As a good fallback there, definitely keep up with that bass drum would be, if you're just learning or whatever, that's a good way to stick. You don't want to get too fancy because again, other people are following you. They're not quite like the drums, but in the same sort of way, other people follow you on the bass, and it's not one of those things you necessarily, unless you're a musician, you really pay attention to it in the audience. Many audience members might not hear it, but it's very important to the overall song. They hear it, but they don't know they're hearing it. Put it that way.
Right. Well, I would
they
say
don't
that.
notice it, but you definitely notice it if they do something
Exactly.
wrong.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you want to emphasize the importance there. You definitely will notice if you do something wrong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're setting the foundation of that chord you're playing, I would say.
Yeah. I'd say as long as you're synergizing well with the drummer,
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
happy man.
And of course, Well, did you say consistency already?
I didn't. But
That's something I said it with the drums, but it has to do with bass.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would
Pretty
say,
much anything, really.
I would say this with really any instruments, but especially with bass and drums.
they're married.
Not
They go
trying
together.
to throw in every drum fill that you've learned, and not every lick and fill and every cool thing that
Yeah.
you're learning.
Because I can get
And really
aggravated.
just trying to go as basic as possible,
Yeah.
and then within that frame, every now and then, very rarely, add those fills and
Yeah.
make sure that they fit within the phrase that you're trying to do. Don't try to fit too many notes and then miss the downbeat with the correct chord, because then that throws the whole harmonic structure that follows off, and it kind of messes with the harmonies as well as just the general way it sounds to the audience. And it actually sounds like a wrong note if you don't know how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
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 Basically the best rule of thumb with all music is less is more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on then. Speaking of less is more, let's go to the piano then, because I was actually going to say that about the piano part, is that less is more on the piano, right? So my journey as a piano player basically involved me learning how to play chords, learning how to play charts, learning how to do all the fancy stuff,
Yeah. Of course.
and then learning how to not do all the fancy stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
A good piano player or a good pianist will be able to do all these crazy things, but a good piano player for your band will know when to do those things.
Yeah.
They'll be able to mix it in, things like that. That's what I would say for that. I mean, you're just trying to put some ice the cake, maybe. I don't know, just sometimes you're holding down some rhythm, but if you've got a guitar player doing that, you don't want to do their job. You just, kind of less is more.
Right.
Yeah.
Throw some things in there here and
It's
there.
not bad to, just kind of lay out the chords, every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been told this, they had to get on to me for quite a while on this, but stay out of the bass. The bass plays the bass. If you're a piano player, you double it up and it sounds real bad. It
I had a
reverberates
dollar.
through the room out there and it doesn't sound good. So
If I had
stay
a
out of the
dollar for
bass.
every time I heard that one.
Yeah.
But
And it's
it does
kinda even
depend on the
similar to
context,
acoustic
though.
as well.
If you don't
That's
have a
true.
bass player, you've got to play that bass
Right.
line.
It's
So
a
you need to know how to do
necessity,
both. You got to
Yeah.
know when to use it and when
You
not
do
to
need
use
it
it.
if
Yeah.
there's no bass. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes maybe in some slow songs, you're starting out the song, the bass hasn't come in yet.
And there's nothing wrong with using bass in the correct context. I mean, that's
Right.
really what it is, knowing the style, knowing the context.
Exactly.
knowing what's too much. And that's really just something you learn with experience and listening to a lot of other music.
Because and that's another thing. Like, it doesn't hurt to listen to yourself. It's not egotistical. Like, we all need to listen to ourselves to know
Most
how we
likely
fit
it's
in.
not going to be. If you really know how to listen, it's going to be like, oh God, I can't believe that sound like that.
Ooh, that sound good. No.
No, it's going to be like, oh, you're going to probably cringe listening to yourself.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a
Yeah.
singer. If you're a
Yeah.
singer, that's probably the worst. It's one of the
Yeah.
most
'Cause-
easy ways to criticize yourself.
Exactly. And like, with guitar, like, I'm on this, oh my gosh, like, I'm driving myself crazy. I'm like sleeping and like thinking about it at night sometimes, like in dreams. But like,
Dreams and visions
But
of
like-
your guitar.
yeah, but like guitar tone, just
Yeah.
where am I going to be at? Like how do I adjust this to this elusive sound that I hear in my head that I want to hear, in the mix with everybody else that fits perfectly, and that's I don't know. We could just go ahead and move on. Guitar now while we're here.
Yeah. Where are we going with this? Acoustic guitar, electric guitar? Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, we could talk acoustic first.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
acoustic kind of has some similar traits to piano. Like whenever it comes to trying to stay out of the bass area.
The frequencies of acoustic and keyboard, they tend to clash. You got to be
Yeah.
careful for sure.
Yeah.
And that's really where, especially as the keyboard player, because they have more control of where they're
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
That's when they have to know, okay, can I play in this mid range? Should I play low? Should I play high?
Yeah.
Typically, because guitar is a lower instrument, it's going to be towards the bottom middle of the piano. So you kind of want to stay out of that range.
Yeah, you don't
to
need
the best
two
of your
people.
abilities.
You don't need two people doing the same job, whether it's the bass job or it's the rhythm. If you're just keeping the rhythm. If you got an acoustic guitar player
Yeah.
playing the rhythm, holding it down, you don't need to do as many block chords on the piano.
And if you have two rhythm guitars, it's also easy to have like each one maybe doing like different chord voicings, or even
Yeah.
like
Okay,
Or
yeah.
strum
capo,
patterns.
two different capo positions.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll just
Yeah.
help out. So like it's not just like
It opens up new
double the-
frequencies
yeah.
that weren't used before,
Yeah,
and it
it's-
helps really open up the sound
Right.
Yeah.
of the
But when
band.
you got those two, you can't have two different strum patterns going crazy unless you're doing
You can.
something special.
You
You
can,
can, but
clashing.
you've got to sync the rhythm perfectly.
Yeah.
If they're off a little bit, if they're off just a hair, then
Yeah.
you're gonna really throw off
Right.
the whole band.
Oh yeah. yeah.
There you
But
go.
it can happen. It can work.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I can.
And like, man, I sound so crazy trying to talk to like other people about this, and you might understand this, but like in my head, like whenever I hear like two acoustic guitars playing, I kind of think of like a train engine, and like the whole band kind of like just moving and like being synchronized, like how a train has different gears that work in different ways, and some are bigger than others, some are smaller than others.
Yeah.
And like, with like acoustic guitars, man, you can have like the most coolest thing going on that is so out of the way of everything else. It just takes time to like work on that and like coordinate that with whoever else you're playing with, and
Yeah.
like I was trying to explain that to somebody, and they were just like, I said all of that, and they were just like, train? What are you talking about?
It's an analogy.
Forget it.
No, I follow what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, no, I
Makes
got you.
sense. Makes sense. And yeah.
I'm following the tracks he's setting down. I get it.
Oh my!
Oh man.
But something I wanted to also mention about guitar players and what we just left was piano players. Usually, the leader of the band is usually it's a piano player, the lead piano player, at least from my experience, but not always. Sometimes it's the acoustic guitar player. I've seen acoustic guitar players lead the band
Yeah,
as
it
well.
really
And
it
so-
depends.
It
It depends
depends.
on the style too.
Yes,
Right,
'cause
right.
Some songs are
I mean, I grew up.
piano-driven.
I grew up more contemporary style
Exactly.
of worship, so it
More
was
guitar.
much more acoustic and guitar driven.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I came
Yeah.
to this church,
Well, yeah, we're not gonna
it's
say
it's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's piano driven. So
yeah, I would
understanding your purpose there, it's
Yeah.
like you
Same.
go from thinking you're the most important to be like, all right, I'm secondary to the piano. It's really the case.
That
And
was the same for me. When,
even more so,
before I
you're
came here, I was
rhythmic.
more
Even more rhythmic than
guitar-driven.
I think in contemporary music. If you listen to acoustic guitars, they're not really following the drum pattern necessarily.
Yeah.
They've got chinga chinga
Yeah.
chinga
Which is
chinga ching. It's
more
different.
like hi-hat.
It's not exactly following where they're accenting as the drummer. It might be
Yeah.
accenting something different.
Well,
whereas
if it was bluegrass, it would be.
in more of a gospel style, you're basically accenting like 2 and 4, and you know, depending on whether you're playing 4s or 8s or swing or whatever, you've got to make sure you're in line with that.
Yeah.
And also another thing about acoustic that I think is very important is the effect it has on dynamics, especially.
Yeah.
An acoustic player he's just doing the same dynamics doesn't really understand really where they fit in the ensemble, because the acoustic guitar, it's just the same thing. We're talking about how bass and drums are together. Acoustic guitar is right with that.
Yeah.
And of course the drums is setting a lot of dynamics, but if the acoustic guitar isn't changing it, like the rhythm to try to match the intensity of the drummer, then they're not really committing to the whole idea of like, hey, we're getting louder here. We're going somewhere with our music.
Yeah.
So as an acoustic guitar player, I guess that's like my main job now.
Yeah.
But like knowing when to, like kind of almost predicting based on playing with the drummer for so long, knowing where he's gonna go, or he or she, I should say, where they're gonna go with the dynamics and following them as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. Because I think sometimes like acoustic players just don't know how much power they possess, and if you have a really good front of house or sound guy, they can mix you well to where like you're actually being heard. Sometimes, depending on how things are, maybe like they're not as loud as that they should be, but if the guy's doing his job, you can do dynamics and play softer, play louder, different things like that, and still be caught and out there where people can hear you. So
The only reason I had brought up leadership, with both of those, either piano or guitars, I've even seen an electric guitar player lead once, amongst other instruments. So being a leader of a band, you have to be able to. Right.
That's very unique. That's something that I don't see as
cool.
much. I get Chris Kilala.
Kilala.
Yes, it's Kilala. Like I saw it on his
Chris
Instagram
Kilala,
page, and like he had like, how do you say his name? Because I tried to say it like a couple times, and I was just like, Koala? Like what? like he plays electric.
Yeah, he does a lot. He
like,
does actually drums too, and a lot of different instruments.
Dude, that guy.
But also Lincoln
super
Brewster's,
talented.
he's also one who leads from
right.
like
Exactly.
he's really incredible.
Yes.
If like, cause he's doing actual lead work on an electric guitar
While he's singing.
Man, that's a tricky
difficult.
thing to do, and it's hard.
There's not a lot of people that can do
I mean,
that really well.
usually singing good and doing that, that's the hard thing, because you're having to think about your pitch and supporting and everything in words, so it's just craziness.
I have to mention a secular artist that is probably equally as good as those guys, but a guy named Matt Bellamy. That dude is like.
You sounded like a Star Wars kid.
Miss no.
No,
Jar Jar, leave.
not that one.
Just leave Jar Jar.
I miss a Dark Lord.
No.
Okay, all right. So
My question is, how much did you practice saying Jar Jar's accent?
no, I do not practice that.
You do it a little bit too well.
No. Anyway.
Reel it in, guys. Reel it in.
All right. So, but yeah, man, like, there's not a lot of people that can do that. Sing well, like you just said, and be able to play like legit lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like attention, or not attention, but like respect is due where it's due. Like those guys are awesome. But back to what we were talking about though, about like electric guitar. I'm assuming that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Like lead guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's where we
like,
are at.
Yeah. So like what I was talking about earlier, like, less is more. And I mean, I think you mentioned that too. And like, I really appreciate it a lot of times whenever like the electric guitar kind of focuses more on like doing parts for like specific sections. and plays melodically versus standing out and maybe like doing like a scale. And it's like, wait, what? like where that? Yeah, like, wait, what? Like, you know, it's like it's not like it's Slash playing at your worship service. Right. You know, like you got you know, like you kind of you want it to make sense. You know, just like
right.
just like anything else. But the thing is though is that there are pockets for that sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially in intense parts of the music where there's so much loud, there's so much dynamic to help support that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
If it's soft.
Yeah.
Well, something.
Someone's singing,
which
trying to do that.
Yeah, which I've heard before.
Oh yeah,
or I've seen before.
It's unfortunate.
Where it's like, you know, like new guys.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, like new guys, bro. Like they've been practicing in their bedroom, and like, bro, like
all right, I'm gonna let them loose.
Yeah. They get in service, and they're like playing like octaves, like in verses, like they're playing jazz. And then like just doing like really crazy like routines that they learned from, I don't know, Deep Purple or something. I don't know. And just going all over the place, like in verses, you know. And I'm not talking about like it actually making sense, like just doing it, you know.
Just doing it regardless.
But there's a place for that, like you said. Like there's a place for that, and you know, I think that, you know, as a guitarist, like you kind of grow out of that, and you just kind of realize like, okay, like I have a responsibility to, you know, contribute and not take away, you know, from what's going on here. Because you know, each person that plays, they play a valuable part, and they need to know how to use that.
Right. One thing I've heard in the past is even in the solos, you should be able to hear the song. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a common thing, and you're not always going to get. I mean, sometimes there's a time for that other stuff in there, like coming up with your own melodies and stuff like. But if you're going with something that's
if
softer,
you're doing a praise break or something,
do it. Yeah, just do it. Yeah,
man.
go for it.
Yeah, or like the end of a song where nobody's singing and it's just like you're ending it, and there's like a huge like ramp up or something. Man, just.
But like you know when those parts are. And then you know when the parts are where you go for hearing the song. You know which part is which, though.
Yeah.
You know, as a musician, you just kind of know where you are in the song. You say, this is hearing the song part, or this is shredding.
Yeah.
You know?
And that even goes for the piano player as well.
Of course, yeah.
And I don't know, like acoustic, man, poor acoustic guitars, man.
What is that supposed to mean?
Hey, whoa, no offense, no offense. Hey, no.
You better watch it, bro.
Hey. Nah, no, I have a lot of no.
A lot of what? Respect?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Dude, like
honor and reverence.
Come on, man. No. I played acoustic for probably about was it like 5 years? For about 5 years or so?
I can't read your mind. I'm sorry. I may be an acoustic guitar player, but I'm not a mind reader.
Yeah. I played for 5 years till I graduated up. You know, it's okay.
No,
that's what he's saying.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
Just because I don't use effects doesn't mean I'm any less.
No, that perception is totally messed up. Like that annoys me to no end. That perception that acoustic guitar is less than electric guitar.
Isaac, you can leave.
I was saying snow.
No. Because like I was told once, like, do you want to move up to electric guitar? I was just like, move up? What? What did you say?
What is this blasphemy?
What do you mean? You mean move on?
No, because you guys know I prefer acoustic guitar. To electric. I've played both. I played acoustic longer or electric longer, but no, I prefer acoustic.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like, bro, like, and I think it's once you understand everything as a whole, like, you won't mistake like the acoustic guitar for just being like some minor part. Like it's a big part, like you know, and like electric is better. Like no, like they all have a purpose, you know, and I enjoy both. And like I really enjoyed trying to figure stuff out for acoustic guitar. It was a challenge, just like how electric guitar is a challenge. Like I like trying to learn how to make things look, sound, and just be better.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just gotta play it as unto God and give Him the glory for it, and He'll prosper you.
Amen.
Whether you're an acoustic guitar player or electric guitar player.
All right. Well, we're about to run out of time here. I'm going to say a quick note about the keys, and that's really just that keys are kind of like a seen and not heard type. There's there. You can tell if they're not.
Yeah.
If they do it wrong or if they're not there, that's when you know. That's when you notice the keys.
What about synths?
It's the same thing. Strings, your
Pads,
pads,
all that
your
kind of stuff, yeah.
e-pianos, all your organs, even sometimes.
I mean,
Horns.
like
sometimes.
synth.
Yeah.
Synth.
If you do it right.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I feel like there is also a place for that, but it takes a lot of tweaking to do so. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't
Depends
know.
on the style.
Exactly. And I don't know. That's another conversation all in of itself.
We'll talk
Anyway.
about styles another time.
Oh, yes.
That'd be cool.
Well, next time we got to talk more about Christmas. 'Cause
Yes.
It's coming up. Christmas is coming up. I don't know when this is going to go up exactly, but it'll be closer to Christmas than even it is now.
Yeah.
So, with that said, we enjoyed talking to you guys here. We had fun. We hope you guys had fun listening. And we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Adios.
Feliz Navidad.